got my Christmas dress.
But look at how nice SoulFox looks.
Don't worry about me.
And his hand is floating.
Don't worry about me.
Someone's hand's floating.
Oh, right.
It's okay. It's all good. You do you.
We could do so many things. Like, if I really wanted to do a lot of the things that... If I was just concerned about the numbers, we can get the number. Okay, you're about to touch SoulFox's face.
I'm tracking.
Hey, all, SoulFox here. Welcome back to the Soulcast. This is episode 4. I've got 2 of my great VR content creator friends here joining me today. Let me go ahead and I gotta move the camera manually. Hang on. Let's see. Don't worry about it. Hang on. It's gonna be awkward momentarily. Hang on. Wait. I may edit this out. I may not. We'll see. That's fine. All right. Hey, welcome VB. Welcome
Hi.
Hambone. What's up? How y'all doing?
Hello. What up? We're good. You're good.
Good.
I
Good
changed
deal.
my outfit 3 times.
You
We're great.
did, but you look great. All 3 times you look great.
Thank you. Oh, thanks.
Don't look at me.
I can feel that stare like through the virtual world. It was just peering. Oh my goodness, that was dangerous. Well,
I told her to change like twice.
all right. So, basically here on the Soulcast, we're just gonna sit back and we're gonna talk for a little bit. Talk, a little bit about, what you guys do, how we met, what the future holds, kind of why you're doing what you're doing. So, I guess let's go back to the very beginning. Do you remember how we met? I know it had to do with Twitter and CyberShoes, but I feel like there might have been a little bit more before that.
Yeah. I feel like my memory is so bad. I'm not gonna even lie to you.
I'm with you.
I do know Twitter, and all I remember is Twitter, and then CyberShoes was where we really got connected.
Yeah.
I think Hambone was saying though that he saw, before all of that, you would liking our posts and stuff like that, and so he actually knew of you before I even did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Because we both share the same, or we both have access to
we
our
both
Twitter
are
account.
over the Twitter account.
So
Mhm.
we saw your account on there when we I think that we all knew of each other, but I think the first time that we really had a real interaction with each other was Swords of Gargantua.
Turtle Squad.
Oh my god, I
Yeah.
completely... Oh my holy! I forgot about that. Momo
Yeah.
has been asking me to keep playing that game. I'm sorry. I totally forgot. Well, that was with Wolf.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I totally remember. Okay, so I met you that day, and then we played sorts of... I can't even say the name. Gargantua?
Gargantua.
And then I totally... Gargantua.
Big
Yes. And then... I thought, SoulFox, I thought you, the way you sounded, I just thought you were this, dude who was, pumping iron at the gym, and you were, super tall and, really big, and I don't know if it's because we were in that type of game that's just my mindset of you, and then when I saw you, I was like, oh, that is not at all what I thought SoulFox was. Not in, a bad way or anything. I just thought you were this, bodybuilder, type.
No, I get that a lot. People, I remember running into somebody, and they said, oh, you're Fox. I was like, yeah, they go, I was not expecting that. I was like, what were you expecting? They're like, some big dude. And I was like, you're wrong. you're a little off, but yeah. It's the voice. It's very, it's deceiving.
That's totally... Yeah, that's totally what I pictured. Yeah. I think I was thinking more like Eric for president. He's just bruh.
Eric, man, if y'all don't even know who that is, that dude is huge. He's got an awesome
For
beard, too.
real.
I can appreciate his beard. It is fantastic.
There you go, Eric.
Yeah, him and Gamertag.
I know,
Yeah,
they're
maybe that's why.
yeah. What is up with all the
I was
VR dudes just being ripped? They're huge.
For real. For real.
Here's a content idea.
Mhm.
Do a video, invite all these guys together, and call it Swole VR.
Yes. Oh, dude, we just do fitness games. That's all we do.
Swole.
I need to make that happen. GT, look, if you're watching, let's get together, all right? I know you are across the world. That's fine. COVID's going to end. We'll meet up.
We'll
We make
it
a
work.
fitness channel
Yeah.
for a week. That's it. It's a project. We get it done.
1 week.
1 week. Tons of content. All buff. That's it.
Imagine. That'd be so fun.
That'd be great.
That'd be, yeah.
Oh, man. All right. So,
Oh,
next
man.
question. How did y'all... what in the world just happened? how did y'all get involved with Rec Room? Like, how did you find out about it?
I found out through him because we
It all started with
it
Uganda
all started
Knuckles.
with exactly. I was gonna say the same thing. Uganda Knuckles
Wait,
is where
And-
it all happened.
I'm actually I'm really intrigued now. How did this take me back, Ruda? Tell me the ways. How did this happen?
So my Buddha.
Uh-huh.
Let me say it in the way my Buddhas would know.
Mm-hmm.
My Buddha,
Mhm.
back in 2018, my Buddha, was that when Uganda Knuckles was? Yes,
I think it was
2018 January, my Buddha.
Mhm.
Me and Marshall, my Buddha, found the way. We found the way and we played on the way on a potato PC. From there,
Oh my goodness, Buddha, are you okay?
so we
Oh, jeez.
sat at my mother's kitchen table. Whoa!
Sorry, my Buddha. Go ahead. My bad.
Oh my goodness, my Buddha. So we were sitting at my mom's kitchen table and we decided that we loved VR because we wanted to be Uganda Knuckles. And the very first game we ever played was actually this game called oh my gosh, what is it called? XR
That
something.
one.
Yeah, V Time, but it's called XR Time now. And it's this game where you could put it in a phone and you sit down and there's 4 people that you just talk to. And so we did that and we played VR chat on our PC like potato. And from there we were trying to figure out, how do we get into VR? We need to get in VR. I want VR. And so the PlayStation we found out that had a VR headset. And we got a PlayStation, and eventually we decided, okay, we're going to do this, and we saved up money and we bought a VR headset, a PSVR. And I heard someone randomly in VR chat mention something about Rec Room, and so I tried it out. And when I was trying it out, I fell in love with it. I was interacting with people, you know, that in the old Rec Room days when it was more people our age on it,
Yeah.
and everyone's just going crazy. That's when I came into Rec Room, and when I was playing it, VB was just watching me, and I was like, "You gotta play this. You gotta," because I was.
Because he would be on it for so long.
Yeah, I was playing it up all night, and it was like, oh my god, VR is amazing. And so I was playing it one day, and I was like, you want to try it? You could try it for like 5-10 minutes, just see how you like it. And she's like, sure, I'll try it. And she puts it on, and then she doesn't get out of it for 4 hours, and I was so upset because I was like, I want to play, woman. And so that's when she met.
I didn't want to do it
fell in
though
love
because
with
I
Rec Room.
knew. Yeah, but I didn't want to play it because I knew other people were on it, and he was like talking to people,
Mhm.
and I'm really shy, and so I was like, I don't want to talk to anybody, and he's like, you don't have to talk. So I was like, all right, what's a game where you don't really gotta talk? So charades was my first game ever, and then I loved it because I didn't have to talk, but I was still interacting, and then I completely fell in love, and then 4 hours later, I was like, oh my gosh, and I had already made a friend on day 1. It was amazing. It was awesome.
Mhm.
Right on.
Yeah. And so from there, I took over the PlayStation VR, and then I started playing Rec Room, and then he stopped playing. Well, he didn't stop, but he didn't play it as much as me at all. And then, yeah, I just completely fell in love with it from there. And it was literally the game I would play until about 5 a.m.
Oh my goodness.
every night. And then I had to like wake
Yep.
up 2 hours later, but like it was a thing. It was, yeah.
That's awesome. I remember those
Mhm.
nights, like whenever I first started VR, after I got past like the huge motion sickness wave I had. After that, I could enjoy it. I was up late, like super late, just enjoying everything about it. Like meeting my first group of friends, like the guard members, and everybody's hanging out, painting, chatting, having a good time. And it really does take away time really quick when you're first experiencing it.
It really does. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
No, it's really funny too because there's so much to do in Rec Room, but like my favorite memories is literally just going into a room with people, flying up into the sky and just talking, which I think is really cool for a game to even like. There's so much to do, but yet, like one like the best moments is just chilling.
Yeah.
Talking.
That's
I love
that's
it.
what makes it so delightful. It's a lot of VR games, they do have a lot of. I'm saying this as my hands are sitting in my lap. they have a lot of expressions, especially like with body language, which is like that is my selling point. Trying to get people into VR. The games are awesome. Games are great. They're fantastic. But have you ever actually talked to somebody in a game where they're moving constantly? They're not just stagnant like that. It's so cool because you actually see people interacting and how they interact in real life. And it's like I love like reading people and stuff. Like to me, that's one of the biggest things, one of the greatest things about it.
I remember I would go to my job that I had at the time, and literally I would just talk about VR, and they thought it was insane. But I would be like, "Have you ever been in VR?" And they're like, "No," and I'm like, "Yo, like." Body language, it's insane, and they were like, "You're insane." It was weird, but here I am now.
They did not know the way.
Right. They did not understand it. Okay, but before we go to the next question, let me make sure really quick I got everything still recording. Okay, we're good. Fantastic. Oh wow, I look really weird in this position. All right, let me not be here and bring things back up.
It's not as bad as recording the finale to a series that you did and then not having your microphone.
Did y'all do that with Among Us?
Like that? You gotta throw me in there?
We did that with the Journey Home series that still isn't done.
Oh no.
Because I have to now go over 3 hours of footage, and I have to voice over it all.
Voiceover.
Oh. I did that recently with something. I recorded oh no, that's what it was. Swordsman, we were talking about that earlier. I recorded like a whole entire episode, and I was gonna have 2 videos for that game. And the very first episode, it recorded my audio, everything was fine. However, OBS decided that it no longer wanted to recognize my index as like the desktop audio. And so it was just me commentating over everything, which I could have just added music, but I was just like, I was so disappointed because I was having such a good time with that game. I was like, forget it. We're moving on. I'm going to fight pirates now. Like, that's it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It feels so bad because like sometimes you really put like you have such a genuine reaction to things, and then it doesn't record, and you're like, do I even do it again? Like, do we
exactly
right?
Can I even get that same expression? And
right.
Yeah.
One of the sadnesses of making videos. There's a lot of stuff people don't talk about whenever it comes to like making content and whatnot. That is one of the biggest downfalls. Like it feels like somebody kicked you in the gut, and you're just like.
Exactly.
You have to just sit with the sorrow for a minute, not punch a hole through your monitor and whatnot. Just like let it be. It's like, it's fine, it's fine. It's like, no, it's all right.
Yeah.
Even music, like when you edit an entire project in a music file and then you accidentally save a blank file over it because your external hard drive accidentally got out, and you spent weeks on that song. I don't want to talk about it.
Bad times. It's rough. It's rough.
Yeah.
All right. So what exactly made y'all get into YouTube? I know you started with Rec Room, but like what made you just say, okay, we're gonna try this out. Let's make some videos. What was your first video idea? Like how did y'all come to be with all this?
Well, we actually first started on Twitch. I didn't want to actually make full videos. I just wanted to. Well, I didn't want to do anything, but. Marshall.
She didn't want to be a
content creator. No, I didn't think I had it. I didn't think I had it in me. But Marshall, I was playing this really awesome game in Rec Room. I don't even know if it exists anymore, but it's like a hide and seek map, and then there's like a chainsaw, and they have to like get you with the chainsaw.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. Okay, so we were playing that. And literally, they were chasing me around like, VBunny. It was really creepy. And so I'm like screaming, and then Marshall ends up seeing me playing this game, and he's like, yo, like, because he brought all of his PC stuff over to start streaming at our house. And then he was like, no, like, you should be the streamer. You need to stream. And so then I was just like, me? Like, no. Like, I just have fun in the games. Like, I can't do that. But he talked me into it. And so that's kind of how we got started. We got started on Twitch. And then just from Twitch and seeing like who we were interacting with and our audience and things like that, we decided, why don't we start making actual YouTube videos? And so I was like, okay, so my first YouTube video ever is Vacation Simulator. Which I just recently did again because it got the hand tracking.
I saw that
update.
How was that, by the way?
Like oh my gosh, it's a little funky. Oops, it's a little funky only because if you don't have your hand positioned right, then it's kind of like it gets kind of frustrating. But once you get like
Can't do this.
Right.
yeah, but once like you always have to make sure you can see your hands. But once you get used to the tracking, it's crazy. Like it's like extra immersion. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so we did my first video as Vacation Simulator. And then we kind of just went from there because it was fun and it was different for me because I'm used to things being live and not being able to edit and not being able to redo that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think I kind of like that I started live first because then when going into our editing or going into making videos, I treat it kind of like, I try to treat it like a live, like you got one shot, make it good. You know what I mean?
Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
You better.
Okay.
Okay.
Very nice. Very nice. I'm glad we're all on the same page with that. That was good. Strap, you better lose yourself in the mute. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No, exactly. And so we started doing the YouTube videos along with our Twitch streams. And then we just realized we had so much more engagement with YouTube, with the YouTube videos. And we got the TikTok. And then everyone's like, what's your YouTube channel? What's your YouTube channel? And so then that's why we reached out to you and we were like, yo, what's it like streaming on YouTube? And then we really just kind of weighed out the options. And so then we made the move over to YouTube. And it literally was one of the best decisions that we have made. And a lot of people are like, oh, where's your Twitch? Are you going to go back to Twitch? Honestly, I don't have the heart to go back to Twitch. I think YouTube is completely fine for me. So
Yeah.
I think, and to fill in some of those blanks, we started a channel first. We made a bunch of videos in, I think, 2019. And all those videos did absolutely terrible. I mean, in comparison to, what we were hoping for. I mean, they were just all, didn't get any traction at all at first. And then we made a TikTok. One of our videos went viral there, and it sent all these people back to our YouTube channel, which grew our YouTube channel. And it's funny because we actually went viral in a video of drunken bar fight. And that video, that we filmed on Twitch and so on. And that video was actually the part that went viral was actually from a deleted scene from that YouTube video because we thought it sucked. And so so just a quick little thing. It doesn't matter if you are getting numbers on your videos. That just means the algorithm is not working with you well. It doesn't mean your content is bad. And we had to learn that, the hard way, and for her especially, where it was like, we're making these videos, we know these videos are good, we love these videos, we love doing this, but we're not seeing the numbers, so we just keep going, and then suddenly this clip goes viral, and everyone loves this one specific video, and it kind of helped jumpstart our YouTube channel. And so by January, we had about 5,000 subs and so on. And, sorry.
Right on, yeah, 5,000, woo!
And so we basically, from that point forward, I kind of lost my train of thought. So in January, we had about 5,000 subs, and then we had a few more clips go viral a couple months after that, which brought more traction. And so a lot of our growth has been from TikTok. And eventually, when we felt like our audience was getting younger and younger because of TikTok, we decided maybe Twitch isn't the best place for that because a lot of these younger people simply weren't allowed to watch Twitch. In the spur of a moment, kind of like, let's move to YouTube and let's do our thing there. And so we did, and it's been great ever since. So yeah.
Well, honestly, like myself personally, I love scrolling through TikTok, and I tend to like find your page on my For You page all the time. And it's the funniest thing. Like y'all always got like some amazing clips. And it cracks me up. I mean, you always go back and forth in the comments, but like, what are y'all up to now on followers on TikTok? Because you're up there.
Yeah, so we just got to 1.1 million, which is
Mm-hmm.
insane.
That
It's
is
insane.
nuts. That is crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
That
I
is,
She
can't
didn't
believe
believe
it.
we could do it.
Mm-mm.
man,
100K. I was like, there's no way we'll get to 100K. Yeah.
straight pass.
Yeah, and so, yeah, it's insane. TikTok. See, even TikTok, I didn't want. I did not want a TikTok.
Mhm.
It was like no, like for weeks,
You're
like
so
we need to
against
get
it.
TikTok, and I was like no. That's the thing though. If I'm against something, I know it's gonna be good. So.
Yeah, well, yeah. Sometimes it's like that life. It's like I don't necessarily want to do this, but I know it might be the best outcome.
Yeah, yeah, and so he just has to literally tell me the idea, maybe for a couple weeks, and then I'm like, okay, let's do it. And then so much good stuff comes out of it. So yeah, TikTok. Thanks to
Yeah.
TikTok.
We went to
Thanks,
TikTok because of I was listening to Gary V
Mhm.
on my, in my headphones at my job, my last job, for 8 hours a day, and as well as other things. So he was giving that advice, and I just took it. I took that advice. He's the reason we have our text community as well, and
Mhm.
so it's thanks to Gary V. It's been he's been leading us in the right direction as far as content goes, which is pretty cool.
He's got a
Yeah.
lot of good advice. I stumble upon his stuff every now and then.
Mhm.
Like his stuff specifically, like what I enjoy the most is whenever he goes to yard sales and finds the most like
Yeah.
crazy stuff. He's just like, I get $3 for it. $3? No, okay, fine. I'll walk away. It's fine. We'll do $4. All right, then, give it to me. He's so good. Like, how did you do that? Like, it's enjoyable. He seems very very wise, especially with marketing. Communicating with people and like
Yeah.
he's very very blunt, but like he gets to the point on what he wants done, and
Yeah.
it works out. So
No, exactly. Exactly.
good deal. That's awesome. So we talked about what actually started with your YouTube career and all that. What is your drive now? Like, what keeps you two going day in and day out to continue doing this? Because, like, I know personally, it's a lot of work. Like, it's a lot. And you guys, I feel like y'all do even more than me. Y'all do, you got TikTok, you got YouTube, your production, all your stuff is, like, way up there, which is incredible to see all the time. So, like, what keeps you pushing?
Yeah. Definitely, honestly, like my community, we constantly talk about our goals, we talk about where we want to go, and then we're like, we can get there really fast, but we're gonna lose our community, or not completely lose them, but if we go that way, we have to go, take this route, and I want to grow, obviously, and like that is my drive, but it's not as much of a drive as the kids that we're influencing. So literally every time we have any type of discussion, my community is 100% the core. And then that is where we stem our ideas and we stem our next move, and things like that come straight from my community's core. And that's why, like, we have the text community, we have the TikTok comments, we have the YouTube comments, we have the Discord, and like the Discord's huge because I have to connect with my community.
Mhm.
And I have to, if like I have to like be in it, if that makes sense, because that's where all of my ideas come from, getting to know their likes and their dislikes and their wants and even their desires. All of that drives me to like, okay, I'm doing this for them. And the next video is going to be sometimes, like when we were doing Vacation Simulator, it was, I'm thinking of one person in my community, and that is exactly who I'm talking to throughout that entire like video. Do you know what I mean?
I've actually
I have
never seen it
to-
like that, but that's actually really creative.
Yeah, like I have to sometimes, if because I can again, I'm really shy, and sometimes I think, oh, VB, like chill out, yo, you're being kind of weird. But then I go back into my community and I'm like, they like it when I'm weird. They accept my weirdness. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so sometimes in videos, I literally will pinpoint one person, like in the Vacation Simulator, I pinpointed one of our community members named Ash. You know who you are. And so I literally just had Ash's like face in my mind. and that's the whole video's drive was Ash.
Yeah.
And so that's what I do for everything. So my drive, at least personally, I know he has kind of a different drive probably, but my drive comes from my community, and that's why I'm always constantly talking about my community.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
they play a big part. I know some channels, they focus strictly on what they're gonna do, but like I feel like whenever it comes to gaming, a lot of people do focus on their community. Like they're just pushed by them, and I'm the exact same. I'm very thankful for mine. I remember going from way back in the day, switching from Skype to Discord, and I was like, why in the world are we using this thing? We've always played on Skype. There's no point. And now I kind of laugh at looking back at that. It's like I'm very thankful we switched because now it's grown into this huge thing. But you mentioned being weird, and that's something I feel like a lot of people are very nervous to do. Like to legitimately be themselves. Everybody's weird. Like I don't care who you are, you have your very own kind of weirdness. And people are so nervous about that. They don't want everybody to see exactly who they are, how they act behind, closed doors. But it's like if you're gonna be yourself, be yourself. Don't be ashamed of it. Have a good time. And some people will be like, oh, it's and I can't stand this word. Oh, it's cringe. You can't do that. It's just weird. It's like, no. I am myself. I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm gonna have a good time. Like if I like myself at the end of the day,
Exactly.
that's okay. That's what that's what I'm going for. So yeah, be weird, have fun.
Be
Yeah,
weird.
if you're cringe and you're getting the comments that are hateful towards the cringe, you're doing something right because you're actually relating to people who may not be saying anything. And that's really the truth of anyone who's successful in content creating is that you could normally gauge your success by the amount of hate you get. And you just don't give attention to that hate and you have compassion for those people. But at the same time, that if these people are coming at you for this reason, then there's an equal amount, if not more, of people who are relating to you because of your personality, And so, yeah. And I agree with her when it comes to community and just our drive, a lot of times, I think for me personally, it can get easy to get caught up in the numbers and the analytics of this and that and so on, because I'm the part of the group that focuses more on the outer growth of our sphere, while VB is focused on the inner circle and our core community as well as Marshall. And so I'm constantly looking at analytics and this or that, but I really do it for this core. Like if we get a viral video, that's awesome and it's exciting, but what matters more to me is when VB or myself are speaking to somebody in the community and they say something like, hey, your videos help me get through my day. Maybe this person just passed away or maybe this is happening in my life. And I just really appreciate you guys doing this and helping them learn how to be more comfortable with who they are by us expressing who we are and what we do. And so I think that and just building a community where people can just know that they're loved and they're cared for and people actually care for them and build like this kind of support system, that means more to me than any amount of money we make, any amount of views we get, any amount of anything, because truly those views and the viral videos and however many you have following here or there, those don't matter if you don't actually make a difference in somebody's life. And I think that that's what drives me for everything that we do is just the individual and how we're impacting them. And thinking of someone like Mr. Rogers, how he catered his content to helping specific kids deal with certain things. Like there's certain characters on our show, for example, who express what we are thinking but not saying. For example, there could be a character that comes onto our show and he could be really frustrated, or we could be really frustrated with whatever's going on. And so he is a way of expressing that and also saying that like it's okay to have these problems sometimes. It's okay to feel this way sometimes. And so if we can help these kids in that way as well, all of our content is kind of catered towards what kind of message are we trying to send to them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's getting messages like that, getting messages somebody saying, you've helped me through my day, or you've helped me through, a portion of the pandemic, something like that. I was never expecting stuff like that. It's like I didn't quite know how to respond at first, so I was like, I'm glad I could help, but I didn't know I was, doing that. And I was it's like, well, I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I could do something, but like I was not expecting it. All right, so next up, let's talk about your Among Us series. That like blew up. I remember y'all were around 50,000, I think, somewhere around there. Y'all are at 140 something now. Like y'all inspire me a lot. But like that series, I remember y'all started doing it, and you just took off. You're already taking off. Y'all always take off. Y'all haven't landed in a long time, but y'all like you're flying. y'all seriously, y'all grew so much, and the channel like just it blew up, and more so than it already had. But like, what inspired y'all to like, start that series in the first place, and then continue with it? Because like, there's been a lot of work that's gone into it.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we were playing, we had just gotten to VR chat really, which was another game I say I would never play. And
Hey, I'm with you.
But
Then we went speed dating.
and so we were playing, we found the map. We just found the Among Us map, and we were like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And so we were like, let's invite our community to play with us, because it's in VR and this is awesome. And so we invited some of our friends and community members to play with us, and one of our community members, Super Taco, he showed us that they had a baby Among Us character. And so we were like, oh my gosh. And so right away I was like, I'm pairing you with Loop, and Loop's gonna be your dad. And like I just went into straight up, this is my in real life Barbies. Like I'm just gonna have them interact however I want to do it. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, you guys are like a family now. And we kind of just did that first one. And it wasn't even like it wasn't supposed to be a whole thing. It was just, I thought it was amazingly fun. And we did a stream. It was live stream. So we did a stream like that. And then we ended up stopping the live, and then I told him we need more kids. We need more kids, and we needed to do this on another scale. Like I just want to do, because it was so fun to me. And that's literally just how it started. So I'm like, this is an amazing idea. I get to like play mommy and daddy, like, and I am a parent. So like, I was like, I could get my own kids on this, but I just thought like, they're not going to listen to me. I'm their parent. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I'm like, let me get kids that'll actually listen to me. And so then that's what we did. I mean, they didn't. They really didn't. You should see there are moments where I literally have to like go teacher mode. But yeah, so then we ended up reaching out to like our community members who we knew, honestly, we already knew their personalities. So we were like, you would be great as an Among Us kid. And then me and Skull got paired up because we kind of just went into it, and then everyone just started picking their own colors. And so the kids kind of like did their own thing, and then I was like, oh, I guess Skull's my kid. And I already knew Skull, so I'm like, this is cool. And then I honestly did not think Andres and Hambone were going to, like, I know, like, you can see like they're headbutting the entire time, but it worked so well, and I thought it was going to be a complete train wreck. But yeah, that's kind of just how it started. It started with Super Taco showing us his baby Among Us, and from there, the ideas just came to my mind, and I'm like, and I pushed for it. Because he was like, I don't know, and I'm like, we have to do this. We have to do this. Like, there was like the first time in a really long time where I got excited about something. And I'm like, we're gonna do it. This is like, so that's just kind of how it went on.
That's awesome. Now, this series, y'all have like a different part of it still going, right? Like, did the original part already end, or am I mistaken?
Yeah, so us in the Among Us ship did end. Only because having to edit something takes a lot out of him. Something that's repetitive, some like in VR, editing VR videos, I feel is so much different than editing regular videos. Because in VR, it's where I'm looking, and if I'm like all over the place, do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You have to
which I
line
am
up
right
your
now,
keyframes
so my
and
bad.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're fine.
But so there's that, but then also it's an Among Us game, and you want to pick out every single person's voice Do you
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so us on the ship did end. However, we are still doing the finale of the Journey Home series, which is still our crew, minus Andres. 'Cause he done been left. But it's still our crew. We are now just going through different worlds to try to get back home.
Right.
Yeah, and that was something we still have to redo the voiceover of that last episode because, as we mentioned earlier, basically
My
we
mic wasn't
accidentally forgot to
recording.
record all of that, so we haven't really found the time to do that yet. We stopped the original Among Us series though. I mean, we did a lot with that thing. We
Yeah.
got 7 episodes in a full series, plus kind of an episode before that that isn't technically a part of the series, but it's still a take your child to work day.
Mhm.
We did other things like inside of the
Choose Your Own
Among Us
Adventure.
with we did a whole choose your own adventure series
That's
where
awesome.
basically you go in and you choose whether you want to do this or that, and it leads you to different videos. We did alternates of Among Us, like a Star Wars one, a Roblox one. We even have some Among Us VR and Rec Room. And so after a while, those videos did really well, and we had a lot of fun doing them. But after a while, like anything, you want to move on, and you kind of get a little burnt out on something that you just is very repetitive over and over and over again. And so we decided that, we could have gone around to just continue doing Among Us. And honestly, if we were still doing it, our channel would probably be a lot farther than it is now, with a lot more engagement, to be completely honest. After the Among Us series dropped, our engagement dipped down quite a bit. But I think it's really important to us to realize what we want to be known for and not compromise in just doing something that works because the numbers work. I think that in the long run, which has always been what we're about, is the long run. We do not do well in a niche. We do not do well in a specific game or a specific genre, even with VR. We do a lot of VR. We love VR, but even when it comes to VR, it's not something we want to exclusively do when it comes to our channel. We want it to be about our expression, about us, about VB, really, and about showcasing who she is and letting people fall in love with her and with the channel because of that reason. And so we decided, it's time to end the series because we wanted to move on to new things, to different things, to things that we want to be known for. And it took a huge hit on all of our progress. Like we were here and it went like here. We started here
Yeah.
and it was like, yeah. And so, but that's okay
So I mean,
because we've decided to take that long road of not fitting into a niche, of not being the greatest person to, or the greatest group to even collaborate with when it comes to mini brands, of not being something that people can be like, oh yeah, that person has an Among Us channel, or that person has this kind of channel.
Right.
And it's a lot harder to grow, and there's definitely been moments where it's been very frustrating for us because that growth just gets. But at the same time, we're doing it intentionally because we're looking long term. What's it going to be like when her channel truly blows up? What do we want that to look like? What do we want her channel to represent when it gets to that point? And even in our last episode in Among Us, we wrote that episode with Andres being the representation of the audience. Because a lot of people were like, no, we don't want it to end. No, don't stop it. And we knew they would be like that. We knew people would drop off. We knew people would stop watching our channel. Even though a lot of them are still subscribed, we knew that a lot of the engagement would just stop. And in Andres, he represents them saying, I don't want to stop this. We're having so much fun on this ship. I don't want it to end. And I'm sitting there with my character, and she is as well with the motherly character saying, Andres, look, everything comes to an end. Sometimes we have to move on. We have to keep going. And he's huffing and puffing and shouting, and he gets left behind on the ship. And that was actually a representation of knowingly leaving behind this portion of our audience that wants only this. Right. And it was hard to do because we're talking about views, we're talking about money, we're talking about momentum and all of these different things. But we see something in our future with the vision that we have that's greater than what we have here, but we have to keep going. And so that last episode really represents all of that. And you could see it if you actually go and watch it and really pay attention. We actually really express our hearts in that entire episode, even though it's comedic and all this craziness is happening and it's funny. And so you could go on, VB. I'm just, that's my take on the whole series itself.
No. Ditto.
I just want to say, I love how like y'all thought that deeply about it. Like it's more than just a character in it. It's like y'all had real meaning behind it. I definitely feel that on like complete and utter level. Like doing dorm tours, I made 3 of them, and I was like, okay, this is becoming a lot of work. I don't have time to do anything else. Like this is what I have to do, and like it took a lot out of me, and it took a lot of like trying to gather community together, go through rooms, see the best ones, see the ones I actually like really like, ones that are really creative, and then like it was a lot of work. And it was also a lot of stuff like I accept a lot of people, and I also had to turn down a lot of people because I was like, I can't fit every single person that wants to be in this video into this video, or it'd be like 10 hours long. I can't do that. Yeah. And so like that part of it, I couldn't stand too, because I don't like telling people no. I've had to get used to it, but like it feels really bad because it's like, this is great. I appreciate you, sharing your time with me, letting you see your dorm, but I'm gonna, say no for it. I'm gonna go to the next dorm, continue on, and like that was heartbreaking for a long time. Like it felt really bad. And I was like, okay, with 3, I'm done. And then I took off maybe 8 months, and I was like, I'm not doing it again. But people kept asking. I was like, okay, you know what? It sounds fun. I'll do it. And I made 2 more. And after that, I was like, I cannot do this. Like it's had its course. I'm done with it. It was fun while it lasted. I want to focus on other things, which I absolutely love. Like people, they say I'm a rec tuber. What in the world? They say I'm a rec tuber, and like that's okay. That's great. That's fine. But like, I don't do just Rec Room, which I love Rec Room. Rec Room, like I've mentioned many times before, it's like my second home in VR. Like or my primary home in VR, I guess to say. But like I will always come back here. But I love doing other stuff. And like there's so many opportunities to do other stuff. Like if I would have strictly done Rec Room, I would have not grown as much as I had, nor would I have like had as many opportunities. Like I love branching out. I think it's a lot of fun, which we're going to talk about later. But it's just, like you said, some things do have to come to an end in order for you to grow. You got to keep moving. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this next question, Hambone, you're going to love this one. Can we talk about like the technical issues we have while doing YouTube and streaming? Because not a lot of people understand like how difficult it is to actually stream sometimes.
It's hard, yo.
It is rough.
I feel like me and Marshall both have it feels like we've taken college courses on some of the stuff we've learned just because of trial and error. I mean, from the very beginning, when Marshall brought over his PC, and by the way, Marshall bought that PC just so everyone really understands this. Marshall bought that PC so that he could stream, his own games, and he gave it up because he saw the potential in her. And so, shout out to Marshall. He is the only reason we're doing this and why he's the third part of our team. And so it's funny though, because that PC, we didn't realize the liquid cooling system in it was messing up, and it was throttling our motherboard and our CPU for over 6 to 8 months at least. And we were streaming on that, we were recording on that, we were doing CyberShoes in that, we were doing everything on that PC. And we couldn't figure out how to get it to work right. We're like, there's something wrong with it. And we eventually just took that out and replaced it with regular cheap fans, and it was working perfectly. And then we put in the fans backwards.
Yeah.
For 3 more
oh my
months.
Gosh. I totally remember that.
Yep. Eventually, we rebuilt the PC. There's been moments where, mics are going out. I had to get this mixer that we got compatible with our system, which I couldn't figure out for months because our audio was all over the place. And YouTube, internet. We just fixed our internet yesterday. Finally,
After
we
3 weeks.
did a test.
After 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, we were
Crazy.
dropping, and every time we dropped when we go live, our stream would shut off. I mean, there's so many issues that constantly happen. And then right when you think you're good, something else comes. But at the same time, now when a lot of the people in our community come and they're like, I'm having this issue, I'm having this issue, what about this? Because of everything that we've gone through, I could be like, oh, this, then this, and this, and I feel like a tech person on a phone,
Right.
like, oh, have you tried this? You got to make sure you do this. Try this out, blah blah blah, and it's literally turned into that. Like I could literally know how to build my own PC now. When before we started doing all this, I had no clue. I was a Mac person. I never cared about PCs really. It was
That's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's
it really is.
I've mentioned to my community the most heart-wrenching thing. Like I am so nervous to click start streaming, and it has nothing to do with like I'm not ready. Like I love talking to people. I love streaming. I feel like it's always, which it's way more on the positive side, but it feels like there's a 50% chance that it's going to explode. Like it's quite possible that I'm going to get drop frames. My internet's going to be like, it doesn't exist. What are you doing? And something goes bad. And like, even my community, they have a saying. They're like, if something doesn't go wrong, it's not a SoulFox stream. Like something has to happen every single time. Like I'm like, one day I'm going to have an actual thing. Like I'll joke about it now. Like anytime I mess up, I'm not doing my audio right, the audio doesn't switch over. I'm like, guys, I do this for a living, by the way. Like this is what I do. Like, it's never perfect. It's never perfect. But like we learn and we try to improve, and that's really all you can do. But like as you mentioned, there's always going to be something. Something's going to pop up. You have to figure it out and hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, now when we lag, we decided, okay, we're gonna draw this stick figure bunny, and now when we lag, our stick figure comes up instead of me, and she just takes over the stream.
That's
better
awesome.
content, and
some people like stick bunny better.
A lot of people do like stick bunny better.
That's funny.
They changed their whole PSPs to stick bunny. It's crazy. But you kind of just have to roll with it. But I think too, like you have to. There is so much that goes honestly wrong more than it goes right sometimes, and that's where your passion for this and where you're gonna do this no matter what and regardless, and you're gonna like push through all that really comes into place. Because there are times when I'm like, if this was literally like either a hobby or if we were on the fence about this, we'd so like give up.
Yeah.
Because it's literally thing after thing after thing, and sometimes 2 things at one time, and it's just insane.
Yeah, not to mention what you have to deal with mentally. She's way better at dealing with things going on mentally as it's happening than I am. I show it a lot more than she does, and so a lot of times I have to stay off camera. Like, but you deal with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's just it's hard, and I don't think people really understand. I mean, people will be like, oh my gosh, I've seen, your channel's blowing up, you're at 1 million on TikTok, and I'm like, you didn't see me crying 30 minutes before stream happened. You didn't see me crying because I forgot to record my microphone. You didn't see me screaming because this didn't turn out the way I wanted to, or because, for 3 weeks my internet has gone out and I've had literally 6 people come over trying to fix it. Like you don't see those things. But I think that also it really puts into perspective how much we care and how much we're willing to push through for our community. And the fact that we have communities, me and you, where if we are lagging, they're not gonna be like, oh, and they're gonna get mad. They're gonna tell everybody else like, this is fine. This is what happens.
It's gonna
this
pick
is who
back
they
up.
are. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's gonna be just wait it out. You know, and they're so encouraging, and you don't see that often, and so it helps a lot.
It does. It really does, because it tugs at your heart, especially whenever you're doing it live. You got something going on. My worst thing. I understand if it happens in my streams. That's already, it's already annoying enough, and I try to, push through it. My chat says, "Don't worry, give it time, it'll pick back up." And sure enough, it does. Because I always get drop frames. Don't know why. At some point in time, it has to happen. But the worst thing is whenever like a company reaches out to me, they really want to work with me. They're like, "Let's do the stream. Let's make it awesome." And you're doing the stream, and it's like your computer just sets on fire the second you click start streaming. And I'm like, they put so much hope into me getting this done, and I can't deliver because just things are breaking. Like I physically can't do it myself. It's just, and I'm like,
that was me during the CyberShoes stream that we did, the tournament.
Yeah.
And the forest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and even the forest. Yeah. And I'm just like, yo, like, I am with all these people. Like, this is the one time you should be working, you aren't working.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely it's hard.
Well, I had one recently. I was doing the private match solo matches for Population 1, and I was actually working with Big Box for that. Like they reached out to me, and I was super excited.
Man.
I love Big Box. They're very cool. They're very nice people. But like I was so excited about this, and they're like, they messaged me afterwards, and they were asking about the quality of the game. Was everything okay? And I was like, we had a few bugs in the game, but everything's fine. They're like, no. In your stream, we could see things look different. And I'm like, oh no. And so like I went back and looked, and there were portions of the stream where it just dropped for maybe about 30 seconds. It would drop lower quality and then pick back up, and they thought it was the game itself. I'm like, no, the game's fine. That's me. I'm so sorry. I can't help it, but I'm so sorry. Like you're good. And I was just like, it's like you get that red face. You're just like, sorry. It's like I really wish I could just have like super stable stuff. And I remember like there was a time I reached out to y'all because I was so fed up with YouTube trying to stream to it because I kept having the same issues over and over. And I was like, I might switch to Twitch. Like, what do y'all think? 'Cause this is whenever y'all are coming from Twitch to YouTube. And so it was a really awkward time. But like, I feel like we were all on the fence about it. We were like, we don't know where we go right now. We're trying. Like, and I even remember testing, like streaming over there, and it was much smoother. And I was like, man, this could work. But I would quite literally have to like chop my community in half and say, hey, come over here to watch the stream. Come over here to, watch me do videos. And I was so divided about that. Like y'all made it work for a while, and then you fully switched to YouTube because y'all saw like the potential with that. And I saw that, but I was like, I don't know if I can fully stream here, like without it just crashing and burning, which there are still days I'm not entirely sure I can, but I'm hoping for the best. Yeah. But like, there's a lot behind the scenes that we do deal with, and it's not the easiest thing, especially whenever it's stuff that's out of your control. Like you cannot fix it. And so
you literally just have to sit there.
Yeah.
And just watch it punch you in the face and stare at it.
Pretty much. Sometimes you just gotta take the hits and hope for the best. Oh man. Yeah. Okay. Well, on a much brighter note, branching out. Now, this is like your channel has been a wide variety of, different games, but even more so whenever you were doing Among Us, you said, that had to come to an end. You want to do other stuff. So like whenever it comes to branching out, how do y'all decide what you're going to do? I know for myself personally, a lot of the stuff comes from new games. And like I try to focus on that, and then I get like my core set of games that I'll rotate through. But like branching out wise, it's usually like I want to check out the newest stuff to see what VR really has to offer. So how do y'all decide what you're going to play next?
It really...
You shrunk. How'd you do it?
Was I up the entire time?
You're good. Just get a little bunny hop. Just a little.
Okay, yeah.
Hambone, that was way too synchronized.
There we go. What did I do?
I don't know.
That was really cool. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Did he pull me up?
No, me and him, like, I mean, perfect. Yes, yep, we'll go with that. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Anyways. With games, as soon as new games do come up, I do want to play them. However, I feel like
we never do.
Yeah.
I hear you.
It's more so we go off of
What we want.
no, pretty much. It's if I'm excited about something, that's what we do.
Mhm.
And that's kind of how it goes. But it's not like I could be excited about Call of Duty, but I ain't gonna play it anytime soon. It's more so if I'm excited about something, we know it's going to work with our audience. Because we've been joking about it a lot in our Discord lately, where they're talking about like my age and stuff, and I always say I'm 7. I'm always 7. I'm 7, and so the way that I think games, and I'm not a pro gamer.
Real quick, just for legal purposes. When
I'm
we're
not
talking
7.
about our marriage, she is not 7. Okay, go on.
I was gonna say, anytime I'm in the
not
Discord,
7.
anybody that's around our age, all I ever see is okay boomer. So like the whole 7 thing's out the window. We're old. Period. We're fine. We're not old, but older than you.
Old. I really don't think I'm old.
No.
Honestly.
No,
I have the
we're good.
mentality.
Sorry.
But there, my mental age is 7. That makes
Pause
that
for legal
better?
purposes.
There we
Wait a second. Jeez.
Mental age is 7. It will always be 7.
The joy.
Maybe
You have
7,
that
7 to
personal
9.
kid within you. You still have that like childlike spirit.
Exactly. I have a
Right.
childish joy, and it will never leave. It's not going to. But that's kind of what we're gonna do next. Is if I'm able to get excited about it, and I'm able to be like, that's gonna bring me joy right there. I know my audience is gonna feel the same thing, and they're gonna feel the same way. But I mean, there are moments where I would love to get back into Call of Duty. I would love to get back into Halo and things like that. And we're even thinking of creating. You've seen my VBad.
I don't.
seen
No,
my
I
VBad?
actually think that's the one character I haven't witnessed. I've seen it in a.
You haven't met VBad?
I saw it whenever it popped up for your what is it?
Spotlight?
Spotlights. I almost said Stream Alert. Yes, Spotlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So VBad is my actual mature adultness. It's where I'm gonna get
Your
into
alter
the
ego.
There you
pretty much. It's what people don't see. But yeah, my alter ego of I'm gonna get into like a game like Resident Evil or a game like Call of Duty. We're a more mature game, or like GTA.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And so we do want to, go back into the section of VBad, but we're holding off on that for a second. But in the direction that we do go and the games that we do play, we talk about it, and if there's legit joy on my face, then we're like, that's gonna be a good video. Let's go with it. Because there are so many games that come out, and like
There's a lot.
just barely played Synth Riders, and that game's been out for a minute.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys have already played it, but I just got into the game, and I'm like, oh my god, I love this game, and it's amazing, and the song package is just amazing. But we don't really go off as much as we would like to, like, oh, it's a new game, let's play it. That's not really how we work. We just work with, hey, we have this idea, or there's this one game and it does this, and how do I feel about it? Does it make me excited, or am I kind of like on the fence about it? And then that's just kind of how we move. We play a lot of Roblox, which is another game I never wanted to play because it's a child's game, but it's really not. Have you played Roblox?
No. I think you ask me that every time I join your stream. Like, have you played this yet? And I'm like, not yet. I find it so fun every time. Wait, SoulFox, have you played Roblox? 'Cause every time I come in, I'm like, hey, y'all, Roblox gaming here. Like, every time.
I told you my memory is out of goldfish. Like, I just can't remember. Roblox, yo. Yeah, I think you'd be surprised.
I've heard so many people, they're like, you need to do Roblox VR. I'm like, isn't that where you just eat people? Like, just take them and throw them.
You can. You could blend them now.
Oh. Just blend up the community, make a shape.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's pretty sick.
Get some SoulFox in there. Yeah, that's amazing. But yeah, so if I'm excited about something, that is our next move.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's really simple.
And that includes like VR chat role plays, like just a lot of stuff that we want to do is we want to create experiences for her. And even with a lot of these games, all these games are awesome. But a lot of the things we really want to do is have her jump into an experience that we actually create and have her interact with that. It's very difficult sometimes, especially for me. Like, I'm constantly in debate. We're constantly changing our video list, or something doesn't get done, or something goes horribly, and it just wasn't as fun as we wanted it or thought it would be. Or this game we thought we were going to record for, but we didn't. And so there's always this up in the air, like, what are we going to do next? Because the truth is that for our channel, we're still trying to kind of figure it out. I think that for what's coming, we have a little bit of a better idea, but the truth is that it's hard sometimes, because I know that if we do a certain video or a certain game, this will get a certain amount of views or whatever. And there is that path, but then I'm mostly focusing on, when it comes to editing, like, our engagement of the video itself. Are they actually going to enjoy this video and watch it all the way through? And we're one of the few YouTubers out there that are just completely saying, forget the algorithm. And it's frustrating, but at the same time, it's what we want. It's why we depend so much on something like TikTok. It's why a channel with far less subscribers has a little bit more engagement than we do right now, because we're just kind of all over the place and trying to find ourselves a little bit, even in this period. You know, we've done some videos that have done great, and that's awesome. We've done some videos that have flopped. We've done some videos that we've had so much fun in, but they didn't do as well as we hoped for. We thought about going the Minecraft route. We want to do more stuff in VR chat. So right now we're kind of all over the place, and we're trying to really solidify what we want to do. But our main focus is, like she said, her. Is she excited for this game? It's basically a brand centered around her. And it's one of the hardest brands to make. And we realize that it's one of the hardest brands to move forward with, because we really, our niche is VBunny. And you don't grow from people searching VBunny unless they see VBunny. That's why we're very grateful for a platform like TikTok, and for our community constantly getting the word out there and so on, because we really suck with algorithms. We really suck with a lot of those things that make a normal channel grow. And we've decided to intentionally, go in the route of, like, we want her to be the primary focus of whatever we do. And that's why we're building, like, this avatar. We're building this avatar that is in the process right now of being made for VR chat and other things like Void and so on. So we could do some VTubing a little bit. And in the next month or so, you're going to see a really big shift of the whole brand really being focused on that imagery of her and this avatar. We've been really inspired by someone like Fia, who has turned into a really great friend of ours, and how she brands herself, and just the way she is able to carry that into a wide variety of different things. And so I think that there's a lot of work that we need to do, and right now we're kind of in this foundation building practice phase of getting our team to constantly pump out content, of trying to figure out what's going to work best, what can we record quickly that will do awesome. For her, it's about creating moments. That is what our channel is about. It's about, these kids are in school. They have a million life issues in front of them. A lot of them can't even afford the next game that comes out because of certain circumstances or this or that. I mean, a lot of them have actually gotten Oculus Quests, and we've been able to meet them, and that's awesome, and I love that. But the truth is that they're all going through something. And so our job is to create moments so that even if it's just for a second, they're able to be encouraged. And if that's through joy and laughing, if that's through a word that she gives to them, if that's through by whatever means, it's just, that is our goal. It's just, we need to create content that is encouraging and uplifting and brings them out of that spot so that they could think a little bit more clearly and move forward with their life. And so if any video or a piece of content can do that, that's what we're going to do. And the truth is that it's been something we've been debating for a while. Like, what if we do this? Should we focus more on Roblox? It's been very frustrating for us, to be completely honest. This is one of those things where I just don't have the answer to, because it's not something that like, I mean, I'm not trying to like pump myself up, but if I wanted to get to 2 million on TikTok and 1 million on YouTube and do all these things, I could do it. But it would require compromise of what we actually want. Like, I know how to get the numbers, I know how to bring the people, but it's not our heart.
Yeah, when you say what drives you, we can do all these things he's saying, but that's not our drive. That's not our focus.
Numbers are always going to be numbers.
It's frustrating.
If you're actually passionate about something, numbers are not the most important thing.
Because it's either you're going to focus on the numbers or you're going to focus on the people who are creating those numbers for you.
Yeah. Dang, that was deep. Y'all take that one to heart. That was actually really good. Oh man. That's honestly something like people really need to understand. I remember it's probably about a month ago, people were really talking about the analytics on YouTube, because like they will put so much time and effort into all these videos, and like they would pump out this video and it would just flop terribly. And like, it's not that it was a bad video, it's that it just algorithm. Nobody knows how to work it. And it just, you hope for the best. Sometimes it does well, sometimes it doesn't. But whenever it doesn't do well, you can't be so discouraged that you're like, I'm not doing that ever again. Because like, if you actually were passionate about it, do it again. Do it better. Do it differently. A little bit differently. Like, make it grow. And yeah, no, I have felt that, especially with branching out to different games. Like, I love checking out new things, and like y'all mentioned, trying to play games when they first release is not the easiest thing. If I can live stream it, sure, that works. But if you ask me to make a video for this game that's coming out on the same week as May, is insane. I don't know if y'all have seen all the games that are coming out. I am like, I'm getting buried right now, and it's insane. Like, I'm excited for it. Don't get me wrong. But like, I'm trying so hard to get a video or stream out on the release day of all these games, but they're all coming out at once. And I'm like, did y'all like have a meeting and you're all just like competing to see who it comes out for? Like, why did you decide on the same dates? And so like, I'm trying to get it all together, but sometimes it doesn't work out. You'll play it down the line like Synth Riders. I played that way back in the day, like whenever it first came out, and people were like, man, you got to give us a shot a year later. I'm like, did y'all not? I did this. It's the same thing with FNAF. Is one of the like, that's the most like asked about game on my channel. Like, man, you got to really play FNAF. I'm like, I did a year ago, like multiple times. It's there, I promise. Like, you just got to go back and look at it. And it's because it's like it came out right whenever it first released, but nobody was looking right then, and they're like, oh, we're looking now, and it's like, okay, cool, go back. Like, I promise it's still there. Like, I've done it, I promise. Man. Okay, so this next question, this is something I feel like I have grown a lot in, and I don't know about y'all regarding like your previous, work experience, but getting into marketing and actually working with companies, whether it be brands or game companies, did y'all have any previous experience doing this, like before YouTube? Okay,
nope.
So y'all are...
Well, a little bit.
What did I do?
Marketing.
You talked to that one guy one time.
He was in bands.
Yeah, I mean, I did do some content creation and things like that for bands that I was in. Yeah. But my main talent was bringing people to shows. And so if there's anything I feel like I'm really good at, it's event coordinating. And so that's something that even was our marketing strategy for her, and still is, although it's kind of focused a little bit broader now to just constantly bringing people to events. And that's where I thrive in. So that was and making videos and stuff.
Yeah, but like straight up marketing, no. Like, don't make fun of me. I just realized that hashtags were a thing on Instagram, and like they help you. So I'm like, you can look at every single one of my Instagram posts. I never use a hashtag because I just did not think it was needed. So I'm just getting into that now, and I'm just like, I even looked at yours. I'm like, SoulFox uses hashtags. Where have I been? Like, oh my god. Because now, just like recently, maybe like a week or two ago, I just started getting into, okay, how do I market? How do I do this? How do I do that?
Right.
So I'm taking that reign. And so I'm trying to, 'cause I'm like,
Branding.
okay,
She's taking the branding reign,
the branding reign. Isn't that marketing?
which is something I'm terrible. It's a part of marketing, but branding is more in its own little corner. Like
Oh.
she's learning about
Maybe
how
I
to
don't know what I'm
brand
talking
herself
about.
to be marketable
Right.
to companies and stuff.
There you go.
I am
So the answer
terrible
is
at
no.
branding. I'm terrible at
I
branding.
love it. Like it's. I never thought I would actually enjoy like taking emails. And that sounds really boring. But like I'll wake up and if I see anything from any company, I'm like over the moon happy. It doesn't matter what it is. I just think it's like fun to actually interact with them. And
I love it.
that I never had experience, and like that is kind of like behind the scenes stuff. Like I want people that are watching this episode to understand that there's more than just recording a video and posting it. Like whenever you're trying to actually build something, and trying to work with companies, and I've told a lot of people this. I was like, if I was ever, making pancake screen videos primarily, like playing Battlefield or something like that, and I reached out to EA, there is not a chance in the world I feel like I would have ever had the opportunity to work with them. Like that's just not it.
Yeah.
But VR is so much smaller, and like the people of VR are very, very kind, very open to like just talking
They
to
are
anybody.
really nice. Yes.
And but like there's so many companies you can work with, like actually build a good reputation with, because like you're helping them grow while they're helping you grow, and you work together.
Yeah.
Things happen. And it's just beautiful. And no, but like it's I've enjoyed it, and so like it's fun.
No,
It's
that's
a lot of
awesome.
fun.
Yeah, I guess, okay, so if that's marketing, Marshall's our marketer.
Marshall, okay.
Marshall is our market. Go get the groceries. You're good.
Yeah.
Well, he helps us with a lot of the PR stuff,
And the
which
emails.
is in the email. Yes, and the emails. What? Okay. Sorry,
You're laughing at me.
I just okay, because
Just the
she
emails
knows
got
what
him.
she's doing, but she doesn't know how to put it into words. Basically, okay, VB, look at me. This is what you do. You
Yes.
are putting yourself out there for certain companies to reach out to you, and you want them to see a certain thing. Basically like how you reached out to Juniper, for example. In our case, we're realizing that we're excited for VR and a lot of VR companies to talk with us. However, we realize also a lot of those companies aren't really meshing with our brand the way we want to. And that's where you can step in and talk about what you want for our brand, what your focus has been driving towards lately, because we're reaching a younger audience. They're more into things like plushies than they are about, what's the new VR game. But you talk about that. You get what I'm saying now?
Is that marketing?
Yeah. And it is
marketing, branding. Yeah.
Yeah. They're all different kinds, but like you said, Marshall's got answering emails
I
and
think
stuff
I'm
like
answering
that.
your question without answering your question.
Yeah, essentially, I feel like all three of y'all have like grown into it. Like even Marshall, like all of y'all are working together in order to get yourself out there to work with companies and make things happen.
Yeah, because I mean, like he was saying, I feel like if there is any company I want to work with so badly right now, it's Juniper, because I want to make plushies, I want to make puppets, I want to make slippers, I want to make just fun accessories that I know my audience is gonna love. Where I would love a haptic suit, but I don't see my audience being like, oh, let me go and grab that right now.
Right.
I do think I can definitely sell it because of my expressionalness. I feel like the fact that having anybody touch me in VR and freak out or punch me and ouch, I can think that would be amazing, but I'm not gonna go full on it has all these pressures and these joints in it. You know what I mean?
That's so bad.
That's not. I want one too so bad, just because I'm punch me.
I'll-
I just want to feel it.
I've been looking at those suits for the longest time, and I've tried reaching
No,
out.
for real,
I'm hoping
though.
they reach out at some point in time. That's what I want. I want a happy suit. I want to
No,
feel like
exactly.
getting hit in VR.
No, I just want to get into Contractors or Pavlov or Onward and just be like, annihilate me. Like, I just want to feel it. You know?
Yeah.
Or a VR chat. I want to be able to like meet people, and I love hugging people in VR. That's like my thing. I love hugging them, and if I can
Oh, yeah.
actually feel like I'm hugging somebody, I literally would burst into tears.
That would be so wholesome. Oh my goodness! I
Exactly.
didn't even think about that.
But
It's all.
see, like, that's
I'd rather
how
get shot.
I
want to
go.
hug.
I go. I'm both.
Hug
ways.
me and
I
then
wanna
shoot
get shot
me.
and I want to hug you. Hug me and then drop kick me. Let me shoot them both. Like, but that's my thing. It's more. I want companies to come to me more for the expression part of it, more of the emotional part of it.
Yeah.
Than the technical side of it.
Right.
We've had to actually. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. You're good.
Okay, really quick. I'll be fast. I was just gonna say that we've actually had to turn down a lot more companies than we have accepted because, like,
We're just not.
I love
informational
working
like
with
they want.
companies, but we can't. We're not gonna be as good at selling a product in especially something like VR. Like, we can do it if we put all of our focus to it. SoulFox is way better for something like
Oh,
that.
so much better.
For what we're doing, our focus is like, okay, we could work with this company, but how much time does that take away from what we're trying to do with our brand and with our audience?
Right.
And so we've had to really bite our tongue and sometimes reluctantly say, no, I'm sorry, we can't do this. I'm sorry, it's just going to take too much time. I'm sorry. Like, we've had to say more than like 90% of the time, because even turning down money sometimes, because it's like, again, we can go down that route, but our real focus right now is on our community and building that and focusing on the really big brands in the future. And so we kind of do a lot of things really backwards. And it's just
like
it's
a lot
just
of
the
people
way.
probably would just look at us and be like, "That's not how you're supposed to do it."
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of people, they
But-
see
but
money
we're
and
thinking,
they go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
But
thinking
if
long term, though. We're thinking like
whatever
5
we
years in the
partner with,
future.
It has to, and it has to partner. It has to be going down the same like sewer pipe, or what is it called, drain or strain
Sewer
or-
pipe.
Hopefully not down the sewer pipe. You're going the wrong direction. Definitely that time.
Going down the same. What is it called?
Pipeline.
Road.
Pipeline.
There you go.
Not sewer pipe. Pipeline.
So if
Sorry,
you got all
I
your,
didn't
if
mean
you
to
have all your
interrupt
work
you.
going into the sewers, it's not the right place to have it.
They're clean sewers. They're like pristine. As we go down the same pipeline.
All my
And
work
if
goes
I
down to
feel like
clean the
it's gonna
sewers.
take us-
Yes.
But
Jeez.
but if it's like gonna make us take a detour, like I can't even if it's a 30-second detour, I
Yeah.
can't do that.
I 100% get that. I worked with a company like a long time ago, and I was not quite sure about it, but I went with it, and I had a good time. I made the best of it. But then I was offered another partnership with it, but it was essentially going to make me play something I would not touch with like a 10-foot pole. And I, even if it was for money, I told him, I was like, I can't accept that. I'm sorry, but it's.
Yeah.
I hope you have a good time with your update, your stuff like that, but I cannot do it. And it's just like y'all said, it's thinking about your branding and going down the road what you honestly want. And I didn't know about that brand. You said Juniper is the name?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh
that
my
sounds
gosh.
awesome.
Yeah, they make plushies amazing, and they're so exclusive. Like, you have to have 1 million on some platform type of other before they can even consider you. And I'm just like, we got it. Like, you know, and I'm just so excited because I didn't know about them until I actually bought my kid a plushie from there. And I was
That's
like,
awesome.
this is so soft. And so then I looked him up and I'm like, oh my God. So that's literally
We
like
bought our son a
Juniper
tofu plushie.
right here.
Nice.
Yeah. We bought 2. We bought him 2 plushies.
We bought 2.
So
And so I'm thinking, like, if we're willing to buy this,
No, exactly.
then
But the thing is, it's such high quality, and I'm like, you know me, and I love plushies. I have my plushies, constantly hugging with my plushies. If I can make more of my plushies, like imagine, you
Right.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And so that's the type of things where I get excited about. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's actually
So.
been one thing that somebody has requested. They're like, we need a SoulFox plushie, and I was like, who in the world would make that?
Yeah.
But it's not. It's okay. I can't exactly give everything away here, but I'll show y'all after the video. There might possibly be a somewhat SoulFox plushie type thing in the future. I'll send it to you. It looks dope. I'm hoping it gets made. We're
Ooh.
somewhat working on it. I can't say everything, but I'm
Ooh.
excited.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Shh, hey, stop. Chill.
Oh.
Yeah. Shh.
Am I angry? I think I did an angry face. My bad.
Angry.
I'm
Shh.
not angry, I swear. Angry. Shh. But yeah.
All right, so next topic. We got a few more, and then I'll let you head out. But this one says, I feel weird. I'm staring off in the sky. So you two are parents. So like, what do your kids think
Yeah.
about what y'all do?
At first I don't think they understood. I really don't. I don't think they understood what we were doing. And then the more we got into YouTube, the more we allowed them to get into YouTube. Because we were really like this huge YouTube family, honestly. And I didn't think, because I will ask them, who's your favorite YouTuber, hoping they'd see me one day, but they don't. They see a bunch of other people. And it's totally fine, like they ain't gonna think I'm cool, and like, 'tis cool. But, the other day, my daughter went with her grandma to spend the night, and she sent me her story, and my daughter, like, has this picture of me, and she's like, my mom is a YouTuber, her name is VBunny Go watch her, and, like, telling them about what I'm doing, and, like, that was the first time where I saw, like, oh my gosh, she actually knows what I do, like, and she actually understands,
Aww.
and so, like, yeah, and so now we go to her for ideas, and she's wanting so much to be involved more now. And so I think it's amazing. And my son, he's such a boy in the sense of, like, he wants me to play, like, Cartoon Cat. He wants me to play, like, all these things that I just don't play yet. Or, you know what I mean? But even, like, his little, like, we'll go through the drive-through, and I'm, again, very shy, but he'll tell the person taking our order, my mom is a YouTuber. You know what I mean? And, like, just,
Oh my gosh.
and I'm just like,
He's
oh
way too
gosh.
bold.
Like, he is so
Just roll
bold.
the window up, roll it up, hold on.
Yeah.
We're
And I'm
eating
just like,
pizza this one day. We're eating pizza this one day, and this one guy is walking down the street yelling, and he's being really obnoxious, and normally you just kind of ignore that, like, let them do their thing. And he yells at the top of his lungs, "Shut up!" I'm like, chill, dude. You want to get us beat up? Something. I don't know.
Yeah.
He
so
lets
bold.
it out. He just says what's on his mind.
He does not care. Yeah.
Yeah.
no, he really
Oh
does.
man.
It's bad sometimes, yeah. But but yeah, so just I feel like when we first got into it, they didn't understand. And then I think honestly our Among Us series is where they saw, oh my gosh, you're playing with other kids. Other kids are my age. And so even them being integrated into our community, my son isn't as integrated because I just don't think he's quite ready yet. But my daughter has actually made genuine friends from our community members, being around the same age. And they watch the same YouTubers she watches along with me and things like that. And so, yeah, I think now they're understanding it. Now they're getting it. Even to the point where they'll make sure and they'll ask, are you streaming tonight? Are you recording? And then they'll make sure that they don't really bother us during those times or, things
Right.
like that. Like they've been
Wow.
a lot more understanding.
Yeah.
And they're awesome. They really are.
That is incredible.
No,
like
not
that
to
they
say
they
that.
fully understand that they're giving y'all time to, because they understand it's your work. Like that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and I really had to explain. Like one time I was like, "Hey, let's go to Target and I'll buy you some toys." And they're like, "Oh my gosh!" And then I really like explained to them like we're really open with our kids about things. And so I sat down with them and I'm like, "Yo, you like these toys?" And I was like, "This is what we do. This is why we're in the garage and why Daddy's always not recording but editing for hours on hours. It's so that we're able to do things like this for you and be in the house that we're in." And my daughter was like, "No, I get it. Like, I get it." And since then, she's been so helpful.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it's been really cool.
It's I feel like I was in the same place. Like my family fully did not understand what I was doing. They thought I was just back here playing games because, like, growing up, that's what I did. I sat in my room, played games, talked to my friends. That's what I did. They did not get it until the CyberShoes chair showed up and the shoes and all, and they're like, "Why do you have this?" And I was like, I'm working. Like, I'm trying to build something up, and this company, they saw potential in me, and so they're letting me try this to work with them, and they're like, oh, okay, cool. And then more stuff started showing up, and like, what are you? I don't understand. I'm like, look, it's fine. Don't worry about it. And now, my room is like half navy blue, which is what the wall's painted. The other half is completely green, and they're just like, yeah, that's cool. Why not? Sure, go for it. And it's just like they fully did not understand what I was doing, and like, it took them a while. They got it more, and then the funniest thing, I have my mom. I went out. I don't know if it was whenever we went out to eat or what, but I met up with her, and she's like, "Did you just upload something?" I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" She's like, "I saw something on TikTok by you." I'm like, "You follow my TikTok?" And she's like, "Yeah, I saw you dance on there. It looks cool." And I'm like, "Huh?"
We saw you
That's
dancing too.
amazing.
I love it.
All right, cool. Okay. It's
that is amazing.
I'm greatly appreciative of it, but it's so weird, like them not getting it for the longest time, and now they're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
this is
and then
cool,"
just-
and it's
yeah.
like, "Oh, how do I fully explain this to you?" Because like I still don't feel like I'm on that level with them, but they're like they're supportive, and that's what matters. But it's definitely been like really weird trying to get them to understand it.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I mean, even Marshall, his parents really didn't get it, and just up until recently, and like now they're like his biggest supporters.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Even my mom didn't understand it, and we ended up taking my mom in, so she lives with us now. But she didn't even
Which is a
understand
huge
it. She's
help.
like, yeah, which is an amazing help because like right now we're in here doing this, and she's out there making sure they're eating and they're, what I
Right.
mean. So it's amazing. But she didn't understand it, and then she's like, "What do you mean Hambone hasn't slept all night?" And I'm like, "No, he's been up all night editing." And she's like, "What? But like all night?" And I'm like, "All night."
mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Oh my gosh," like it's just people don't understand it until
Yeah.
they understand it. But it's really cool to see. It's really cool.
It's really
to, like,
nice. It
especially
feels
have
great.
your loved ones be like, "Yo, we see it, we
I
get
mean,
it, and we
yeah.
got your back."
Right.
I think that's
No,
really
it,
cool.
it is cool. A lot of people think that, and I'm going to go off subject just a little bit, but a lot of people think that when you have a family, your dreams stop. But it's funny because I legitimately believe that it's actually literally just the opposite. If you can build a relationship with your family to where you can all see the same vision, all you're doing is having more help towards that. And I mean, that doesn't mean neglecting your responsibilities, of course. What it means is that you're teaching your kids, you're teaching the people around you that if you have a vision and a dream and you go for it and you jump and off that cliff and know that your parachute will eventually catch, you're teaching them to be able to do the same thing instead of settling for something that they don't want to do. I mean, like in my
Yeah.
case, like a lot of the risks we've taken have been, very crazy in the eyes of
Yeah.
most people. Like I've worked a job at Walmart and then at the post office, 5 years at Walmart as a cart pusher, and then 5 to 6 years at the post office as a mail carrier. And in the middle of last year, right when the pandemic started, I decided to quit my job, and we went full on into content creating without really having all of our steps laid out before us, without really understanding where all the money is going to come from. And in some sense, we're still a little bit in that position. But we did that with a family, with we have, we're gratefully homeowners as well. And so with a house on the line, with, taking in her mother, with everything. And we don't have a steady income like a normal person would.
Yeah.
But it's that risk that we decided to take and jump because we believe that this is, the right thing for our family to do and where we want to go, and reaching out to people and helping people in our community is our focus, and we believe that's worth the risk. And if we could show our kids that, even if we fail, which I don't believe we will, but even if we fail, if we can show them that it's okay to make those jumps and those risks and take those chances to do what it is you feel right to do and following your convictions, then they're not going to end up at a job for 30 to 40 years that they hate. Because
Yeah.
I could have stayed at the post office. I was making pretty decent money there.
Mhm.
And, but I hated it there. It was a really toxic workplace for me personally. And I want freedom. I want my time. And time is the most important thing to me personally. Spending time with the kids. Like, honestly, I'm working more now than I did at the post office, to be completely honest.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But when the kids come in, I could take a break and go in and spend some time with them. And that's more important to me, to do something like this that we're doing, even with all the struggles and with all the complications and all that, because we see a vision and we want our kids to also catch that vision, not for YouTube specifically, but for whatever it is that they decide to do in the future. They're not going to question or second guess, is my dad going to approve of this, or should I do this, or what if this is too risky? They're just going to do it and take that jump and live their very best life without judgment and without regret of anything. And so that's what we're doing as a family, and that's what it's very risky. It's very difficult at times. We definitely have our days where we're like, oh man, are we going to be able to make all of our bills when this comes around, or when this happens, or blah blah blah. Especially when we make decisions like canceling the Among Us thing. Like, we're not just canceling the Among Us thing, but we're taking further risk on what is going to happen if we don't make enough on this month.
Yep.
And so all of these things come into play, but we're just trusting God with it, and we're believing for our vision to be completed and fulfilled in where we're going, and just not stopping, just keep going, keep speaking over our, basically our business and our channel and everything, and believing, working hard. I mean, I'm working 15 plus hours a day. We're constantly doing things, focusing on our community, building people up in our community, raising them up to even become content creators themselves, or to do what they want to do themselves, and letting them catch that spirit of, I got this, I can do this, believing in yourself in a sense, to where they can also live out the dreams and the visions that they have for their life, because so many people are hindered because of judgment, because of people around them telling them they can't.
Yeah.
And when it's really the complete opposite. And the only thing stopping you from success is your willingness to just do it, and an idea. That's
pretty accurate. It's I just turned 26, and I thought at this point in time in my life I'd have to have, full-time job, which, I mean, I do have a full-time job, that's besides the point, but like full-time job, be married, have kids, like this is what I had to do. Everybody's at this point in time in life, they got everything figured out. Not in the slightest. Like, we're all every single day learning. Like, that's what you do. You don't have to have the best job in the world making, this amount of money. If you have a job that you enjoy and you're passionate about, pursue it. Like, that's what you need to do, because it's going to make you happy.
Exactly.
Like, it's
money will always come.
Money will be there. Money, you can earn that doing anything. But like, actually doing something where you're spending your time. Time is invaluable. Like, it's you only have a set amount of it, so you need to do what you enjoy with it while you have it. I didn't expect to be here, like, doing what I'm doing. I was a piano technician. I worked at a skate rink for like many years because I grew up skating. I was a minister for a few years, which I absolutely love. That's where, like,
What?
Yeah. We'll definitely talk about that later. But yeah, I was a kids minister and a youth minister for a while. Absolutely loved it. Like, that's where my love of kids comes from. Like, not just, my nieces and my nephew. Like, I love kids. They're awesome. And it in the end, I moved on from that, and I had zero idea of what I actually wanted to do, but I wanted to do something. And I didn't want to go to school for ministry for 8 years, because I'm not good with school. Like, it's just, I don't have the biggest drive for it. Like, I'm more focused on actually learning, like, hands-on stuff instead of actually sitting down and going through a textbook. I can't learn like that all the time. Like, I can read, but trying to focus, it just doesn't always work.
Yeah.
But I ended up going to college, and that's something I never really wanted to do, but I did it because I was like, I want to make sure I'm okay in life. I'm going to be okay. And I'm grateful I did it because it taught me how to actually work my hands because I'm a very like technical guy. Like I work with tech. I've done that ever since I was a kid. I understood that. So I was like, I'm going to challenge myself to do something physically, like where I have to actually really put in work, understand it. And I went to college, graduated that. And then as I got out, they're like, well, we got these job offers lined up for you. And then I was focused on YouTube and I was like, I'm actually okay. Thank you. But I'm going to focus on this for now. And they were like, they keep reaching out to me, which I'm grateful for. But every time I turn them down, I'm like, I appreciate the offer. And should the time come where I want to pursue that, I will reach out to y'all. But this is what I'm enjoying doing in life. Like I'm actually having a good time with my life working. Like that's what I want to do and what I'm going to focus on. And but yeah, the way you put it, working a job where you're miserable, it's terrible. And I've been there. But it just, you've got to find something that's going to make your time enjoyable. It might not make you the richest person in the world, but if you're having a good time doing it, that's worth all the money you can ask for. Like that's
yeah. I will say that, you know, one of the things that I do want to say though, that it's okay to work a job you hate for a little while to get to a place where you want to be. That's
where you can be.
The reality. Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes you have to work that job at Walmart for 5 years before you can move up to where you really want to be. But are you saving money? Are you not eating out, which we're terrible at? We eat out all the time.
While you're there.
but the point is that sometimes you have to do something you dislike to get to a place where you will like. But as long as that vision and that focus and that goal is in mind, it's okay. You know, you just got to get through it. You got to push through the times where it really sucks and be patient and just be sure you don't end up stuck there. Just keep moving forward.
All right, so this one is I think this is going to help a few people. So if you had some tips for someone just starting out on YouTube or TikTok or Twitch, anything like that, what would be your best advice for them?
Post.
I mean, yeah. If not, you ain't doing nothing.
Joking.
Post.
Well, think about it. Why do you not
have
post?
fun. Yeah, you don't post because you overthink. You overthink. I mean, I can tell you exactly why I don't post. You
Tell
can overthink. Hello. You can overthink. You can doubt your content and think, well, actually, I'm not going to post this because it's actually not going to do that good. You know, you gotta really believe in yourself and believe in every post that you're posting, because it really, just like the way that we think, it comes down to, are you having fun with what you're doing? Are you having fun with what you're creating? And if the answer is yes, then somebody else is going to have fun watching that.
Yeah.
You know, it may not be, you know, this huge number or anything. I mean, it definitely might. It could go viral. You'll never know until you post it. But you might not get all those people you want, but you're definitely getting one person. You know, and focusing on that one is huge. And so starting out on YouTube, it's not going to happen overnight. Nothing ever does. Nothing that will last ever does. It takes hard work and dedication. You have one viral video, you know, you post on TikTok and you think you're completely set for life, and then the next 2 or 3 barely get any views, you know, and people quit. People usually quit at that time. But that's the time when you realize, okay, you get to reevaluate why I'm actually doing this. Am I doing this just for that viral post, or am I doing this because I'm having fun with it? And because even on the videos that didn't do well, was I connecting with people, making interactions, just furthering what you're doing? Because it comes down to quality, not quantity, you know.
But how do you get quality?
What do you mean?
How do you get quality? How do you get to a place where you're making quality content?
He got so serious.
By posting.
Yeah.
So if you post something and it sucks and your video
Then you
sucks
keep
and it gets no
posting. You
views,
post again.
then you have to post again. And if that sucks,
Yeah.
you post again. But
Keep
here's the
doing
thing. After 50 posts, guess what? You probably learned something during that time period.
Yeah.
And
There have
now
been
your
moments
content's
where,
getting
like,
a little better.
Yeah, there have been moments where I'll post it. Like, usually he'll come up with the content and he'll post the TikTok. You know, like, he's usually mapping it out. But there have
Editing.
been posts where, But there are moments where he's like, you know what, you're going to take over this one and you're going to edit it and you're going to do this. And there have been moments where I'm like, you can't even read the top, or like, I'm not as, I am not as skilled, as he is. However, we don't take that post down. We learn from it. And so next time I'm like, okay, next time I know not to put it up there. And so then the next one I might bring it down, but hey, the wording might be off, or I might misspelled the word. And so then I'm like, okay, now I got to make sure that I check that too. Do you know what I mean? And so there's just a constant improvement happening in your posting and things like that.
Yeah.
So don't be hard on yourselves. I mean, we just started a drawing contest, an art contest for my VR chat avatar. And I got so many text messages from you guys saying, I don't draw good. I can't join because I don't draw good. And I'm like, honestly, art is in the eye of the beholder. Like, I would love to see what you guys create. Like, you don't need to be so hard on yourselves. I'm not asking for a Picasso here. You know what I mean? I'm just asking to see what you can do. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of what you guys are posting and showing me is completely mind-blowing to me, because I'm like, how can you doubt yourself when you're giving me something like this, which is so good? Do you know what I mean? And it's just everybody, we just overthink. And I think starting off on TikTok, starting off on YouTube, or even streaming, just do. If you're starting off on streaming for either YouTube or Twitch, I really highly recommend you turn off your live view count so you cannot see it.
Yep.
That's a good
And then
mindset.
rewatch yourself after.
Then you can, watch it after, sure, but turn it off so you never know how many people are watching you, because it doesn't matter, because that's not where you're focused. You're focused on how much you're having fun with it, in whoever is commenting. Are you connecting with those people? And I think,
what if you don't have a PC? What if
you don't have a PC? Most people have a phone. Use
Start
your
there.
camera phone.
So use your phone.
Yeah, go.
What if you don't have a camera phone?
Live.
Use the flip
You
phone.
got that share button on your. Your mom has a phone. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
But if you have a PS4, they have that little share button, which is how I started. That little share button on the side of your controller that just already starts your stream without a camera, and it just shows your gameplay.
You want to know a story? My
what's your
friend
story?
Q, his name is Q, QEW. He does rap and stuff like that. He used to be in these bands. He's recorded full albums before and all this stuff. He's done crazy stuff. Well, at this one point in his life, all he had was his voice, which was amazing, and his phone.
Yes.
And it wasn't like the greatest phone in the world. It was literally just his phone, and it was his voice. And he wanted to do rap. He didn't have the money. He didn't really have the skills. So what did he do? He took his phone. He downloaded an app to mix songs. He went into his closet and recorded his voice onto his phone as his microphone, mixed the songs on his phone, learning from other people, and so on, and continued to put out music that was actually decent quality, because he just decided not to give up just because he didn't have the equipment. You know what I'm saying? And so it's about literally posting. I mean, it can't be clearer than that. The quality comes over time.
Yeah.
But if you can just get past the mindset of, oh, I need this, this, and this because of this, this, and this, or I need to get to this point, the skills will come. The way you talk to people will come, and in talking in front of a camera,
very shy person.
you develop your skills only as you post. It's just like when you play an instrument. You can't get better at the instrument until you play the instrument. You can't just magically get better. So you can't get better at content creating if you're not actually posting content.
Yeah.
Post and make what you enjoy. That's what we got.
Even if your video literally is, honestly, even a minute long, post it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
This next question, Hambone, I feel like me and you are still figuring this one out. It says, how do you manage to be consistent while also not overworking yourself? So, but before we get to that, I do want to say this. With our line of work, we don't necessarily have the best schedules. Like sometimes we're up at night, sometimes we're up in the morning, sometimes if we don't sleep. Anyway, something I thought that was rather funny is that I was recently in a meeting and I completely forgot I had this meeting, and I was working throughout the night, and here comes 10 o'clock and my phone goes off and it's like, you have a meeting, and I'm like, why do I have a meeting at 10 o'clock at night? I realized what I was doing, and I was like, oh yeah, completely forgot about this. And so I went ahead and did the meeting, and like, there's people, all over the world. So for them, it's morning time. Us, it's, 10 o'clock, and we were in there till midnight talking. And I'm like, most people have meetings at 9 in the morning, and we're over here up at midnight talking about video games. Like, I love my job. Don't ever get me wrong. It's fantastic. I just thought that was so funny. I was like, this is not normal. But it's okay to not be normal. It's okay to just let it out. But trying to be consistent while not overdoing yourself. How do you try to tackle that?
I feel like we do overwork. Sometimes we do overwork.
I think, we do overwork ourselves.
No, we do.
It's hard not to sometimes. Like, there's so much going on that you have to.
It's hard not to, because you just you have a deadline set in your mind and you just really want to make it. Just time management is huge. This morning, like last night, I had this whole plan. I'm like, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna do all this, then I'm gonna SoulFox, and then, you know what I mean? Whole plan. And then I overslept. And, it's just like, get up. He was waking me up at like 9. Like, get up and stick to what you say. And I think that is what helps me. I still have yet to work out this morning. However, I will get to it.
I'm with you.
But
we'll get there.
Sticking to what I say, I think, is huge, because it puts me back into perspective of, okay, if I said I was going to sleep at this time, to not overwork myself, I'm going to get to sleep at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? I think it definitely helps with the both of us, because if he is overworking himself, like last night, I was like, yo, you've been in this garage all day. Like, get out. Like, go out and just relax. We even have our kids to be like, you guys have been working all day. Like, take a break.
Mm-hmm.
And we have those moments where we're grounded. Even our community will be like, go to sleep. And we're like, okay, fine, like, whatever, I wanted to hang out with you, but never mind. And so I think it's just time management is really how we're tackling it right now, especially with being consistent. Time management, I really think it just comes down to it. There was a moment there where we would release like 1 video a week, no videos a week.
I think for consistency, this is now listen, I'm gonna give you some advice, but I want you to know I'm not following my own advice.
Okay? For legal purposes, yes, tell you this, not following. But he's laying it down anyway.
is don't overdo what, especially when it comes to content creation. Don't overdo your scheduling of posts. Only do what you're able to manage. So if that's 1 video a week, awesome. If that's 1 video a month, awesome. The issue for me is that I set extremely high standards on myself and what we do, and I'm extremely ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's part of the reason we've even had any of the growth that we've had so far.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mental challenge, especially when you work extremely hard in a video and it just flops. And each one of our videos probably takes us 8 hours to edit, and that's because I'm extremely particular when it comes to editing, and I care a lot about quality and care about a lot about the soundscape of our videos and so on, and that takes a long time to edit. I'm the kind of person where if you're not following our video with just your ears, it's not going to be a good video. I've had to relax on that a little bit here and there just so we could get some stuff out. But then I'm like, is our quality going down? Is this really the content? The point I'm trying to make is that I think for me, just to be like extremely transparent here, I've been working at this, and this isn't to put VB or Marshall down, but I've been going at this harder than anybody else I know. Even other peers. And it's not to say that anyone's doing anything wrong. You're all amazing. It's just my focus and my vision for what we're doing. Like nothing else matters to me. Like there's times honestly where I don't even know how to have fun in certain scenarios
Yeah,
anymore.
I'll be like, go
I
take a
really,
break or go do something you
yeah.
want to do, and he'll sit there. He'll sit there. And I'm like, well, you're supposed to be
I've
doing
been
stuff. He's like, I don't know
I've been
what to
playing
do.
some chess,
Mhm.
so that's good. But like, especially with the pandemic and everything, my social life and it wasn't even just because of the pandemic, but because of how much we're working on what we're doing. My social life has basically been cut off from a lot of people, and
Yeah.
it's not been easy. But at the same time, I don't have regrets because my focus is on what we're doing. It's on my family. It's on what is important to me. And right now, what's really important is getting us to where I feel that we need to be as a brand, for our family. Like, I'm excited to do things with my friends if I have the time, which I rarely do, but I'm more excited to be able to eventually make enough money to fly to Japan and take my family and to be able to do those types of things. And I enjoy what we're doing, even though sometimes there is some burnout, but I enjoy what we're doing. And it's more about like, yes, we're working really hard, but the vision behind it sustains me to go through it. And it goes so far beyond just wanting to like make money. Again, it all circles back to what we originally talked about, which is our community. Because I know that if I don't step in to do what I know to do, then there is somebody out there who isn't going to get what they need to get that only I have to offer. And that is, you have no idea the impact you make in someone's life. You can literally be the factor between life and death for a certain person, or for a certain person making a life-changing decision. And what we do is focusing on these kids is like, it's like we're carrying all these kids on our back. And sure, I could just go off and do whatever, but then who else is going to carry them? Who else, especially in these dysfunctional families that so many of these kids find themselves in, they don't have hope. They don't have anything to really fall back on. Like we sent out a text the other day of me and VB on our date night, and it was cool. But I was talking to her and I was like, you realize most of these kids don't have a mom and dad living with them together. To a lot of these kids, we are that person. So it's important for us to show them that type of relationship and that type of love so that they don't go and end up with some weirdo and gets their lives destroyed. I mean, just little things like that. I mean, there's so much that go into what we do that goes so far beyond just making somebody laugh. And those kind of things drive me. So the work is nothing to me. The work is nothing to me. I have friends, and I'm making friends like you because you have vision, and I want to surround myself with people like that, with people of vision. Because if you surround yourself with people of vision, then you're going to kind of feed in a positive feedback loop on each other and grow each other and encourage each other. You can't hang out with a person who doesn't see a purpose for their life and stay with that and partner with that and think that you're going to be okay, being attached to them like that. Not to say that you don't help them, not to say that you don't love them and care for them or whatever, but it's like, for me right now, there is nothing more important than what we're doing, because we feel that it's a call, not just for our lives and our families' lives, but from God and from what we need to do to help these people and these kids, because it's the heart that we've been given, and there's nothing else that matters. And so even though we are working extremely hard and we should be taking breaks, and trust me, there's times where I have to force myself to, at the same time, for me, it's like, I could go out and do this and that, but why? What purpose is it going to be? I mean, I understand being healthy, and of course you need to be healthy. I'm not saying sacrifice your health here. But at the same time, what is it really going to do for you in the long run? Like, do you love watching TV? Do you like playing video games? Awesome. For me, it's like, how can I take that and turn that into something productive? I don't have idle time. I just don't. Every single thing I do throughout a day has a purpose to it. And sometimes it drives me a little crazy because I think like that. But at the same time, I can't help it. It's just the way I'm built. And I don't know.
No.
So consistency.
Sorry, I just went off there.
You're good. You're good. This will
What'd you
be.
say?
Come back.
Oh. Sorry, my hand died. Okay. All I heard was beep and my hand vanished and I got really nervous. There, we're back. Sorry, what were you saying, VB?
Oh no, I was pulling him back.
Oh yeah, just consistency.
I was saying he's consistent in his, I guess, in his drive. Does that make sense? I mean, you said it.
Okay,
Never mind.
okay, I'm gonna set myself up. Apparently, I forgot to charge my controllers. They're going to die, but it's okay because I still have like one more question. But I'll just be hamless. It's fine. So to touch on a few things. First up, whenever y'all go to Japan, hit me up. I've always wanted to go. There's a cherry blossom festival. I so badly want to go see that.
I'm serious. We're going.
Absolutely. I'm going to explore. Like, I want to explore the world more. So I'm so down.
We're coming for you.
Japan.
That's who I'm talking to.
Yes.
Talking to you, Japan.
Next up, it's something that does help me try to be consistent because I have, not all the time, but there are spurts of where I have like procrastination. Like I want to work on something, but I can't exactly focus to get it done. And someone recently asked me like, how in the world do you focus to get editing done? Because editing is my downfall. Of like I have the hardest time trying to do that. At some point in time, I'm going to hire an editor. Like that's gonna happen. Like I started doing this recently. I would go and put a timer on my phone for like an hour and 30 minutes, and then I would put it on my desk and flip my phone upside down so I would not look at it. I wouldn't do anything with social media, anything, and I would take that hour and 30 minutes to specifically edit and knock a video out. Like I would have to do that, and it kills all my distractions. I feel like I had something else, and I have lost it, but it's all good.
You get distracted with social media too, right? You're sitting. Let me just lay this out for you, right? You're sitting there editing. You're doing your thing, and then 5 minutes go by, and you're like, you wake up, and you're like, why am I looking at my phone and talking to this person?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I completely get that. Like
I've told him.
Oh man.
To just hand me his phone anytime he starts working. Give me your phone.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he'll be on it. And I just like, and then you're gonna hate yourself 2 hours from now because you're like, oh, I'm barely starting the video, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I think with consistency and not overworking, honestly, us having each other is huge.
Yeah.
Because we're able to remind each other and iron sharpens iron and make sure we're doing what we're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned one more thing. This is what it was. It was you mentioned like your social life. Like once you're, VB tells you to go and do something, you're like, this is what I want to do. Like I could just sit here and do this. I have that same mindset at times because it's like I could go out and do stuff, but I'm actually enjoying myself working. Like I understand it's work, but it's like this is what I want to do in my free time too. Like, but you do have to take time and like go out and do stuff. And like I know you too. You have your family. Y'all go out and do stuff. Like for me personally, I have like a very small friend group, and sadly enough, they are not anywhere near where I live. One's up, in Iowa, the other one's up in Canada, so like they're way far away. And so like if I want to go and do something, I've just got to go do it. Like figure it out and go have a good time. So like whenever I go and work out, people are like, "Man, I don't like you don't go with anybody?" I'm like, I just go and do it myself because like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. If somebody else shows up, that's awesome. But there's some point in time in like life, this has nothing to do with consistency. I'm going way off the rails here, but like if you want to do something, regardless if you're by yourself, go and do it. I mean, be safe, but like just go and do it. Like I go to the gym, I go box, I go explore places, all because it's something I still want to do.
I mean that used to be me. I used to go to the gym at about 11 o'clock at night. Sometimes I'd go really early in the morning. I would just go.
Yeah.
Because you just have to. You're either gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. So you're gonna do it.
Right. So are you gonna do it? Yes, you are.
I go hiking by myself. Yeah. I've been hiking by myself. I've done a lot of things by myself. So yeah, I totally get it.
I mean, the point is that I think, for everybody, I mean, even when people talk about like how do you manage your family and YouTube and this and that, and how do you be consistent with that even, and I'm grateful for my family because I do have them here and I'm around her and I'm able to talk to her, and I understand not everyone has that. But even with our kids, sometimes I have to stop what I'm doing and okay, I need to fully focus on my kids right now. I need to fully give, you know, my son
100%.
or daughter 100%.
Yeah.
And it's what our old youth pastor used to tell us is that no matter what you're doing, be 100% there. And so I try to live by that, even though I'm not always doing that. I think the
You're not
point
perfect
is
at it,
that
yeah.
nobody is perfect and we're all growing and learning, and even with consistency, you know, we're trying to become more consistent with what we're doing. That's why I'm building a small team right now of content editors, so that's been really cool, and that's been helping a little bit with getting some more content out there. But it's just you know, not being so hard on yourself, I think, is really what the key is. Even with consistency, people judge themselves so hard
Mm-hmm.
that it actually stops them in their tracks for doing everything else right.
Yeah.
Fear is a scary thing, and it's a lot of people have that whenever it comes to creating stuff. They're like, "What are people going to perceive this as?" But like, I understand you have to an extent, hope that people like it, because if you want to grow, that's what you need. But you also have to like just be like, "I like this. This is dope. I'm going to do this more." Like,
Yeah.
you got to like it yourself and just go for it.
Mhm.
Fear.
Exactly.
There was a saying. It's courage is not the absence of fear. It's doing something even though you are scared. Something along those lines. But like, you're gonna be scared in life. So what? Still do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, just go for it.
You gotta still, yeah. You gotta jump.
Yep. So, all right. Last question. Do you have any current goals or end goals with the channel?
I mean, I just simply put, our current goal for what we're doing is with our avatar. This avatar that we're making is a really, really big deal for our channel because it's going to change a lot of the ways that we do all of our content. And eventually, I would like to be able to, even if this isn't possible necessarily yet, but I want this avatar to have eye tracking, face tracking. Obviously, it will have full body tracking. I want it to have a lot of the gadgets and things like that, like her being able to pull Polka out and hug her, and being able to.
That's so sweet.
I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to
Can't
say
say
a
that.
lot
You
of
didn't hear
things,
nothing.
But yeah, you didn't hear that. But
For legal reasons.
basically, what I'm trying to say is, this avatar is going to be a complete rebranding of everything that we do, with VB next to it as well, her in IRL self. And you know, one of the end goals we have is we want to.
We have a lot of end goals, though. That's it. I mean,
No.
oh no, this is what I said. This is what I said. I don't think we have an. I don't see an end, so I don't.
That's
have
fair.
An end
Yeah,
goal.
No,
not
that's
necessarily
completely
an
fair.
end goal, but we see what we want to do, and we want to impact
Yeah.
as many of these younger kids as we possibly can, so that they can learn how to just
Yeah.
be themselves, so that they can learn how to enjoy life and
Yeah.
to just find some joy. We want to reach the levels of some of the biggest YouTubers we know, and honestly, YouTube is just the beginning. We want to do so much more past YouTube that I won't get into right now.
Yeah. I mean, I've talked to our daughter, and I told her like, "Yo, if eventually I get too old, it's gonna happen. I can't be streaming at 110 years old, you know what I'm saying?" And so I'm like, if I get really up there, yo, like, or do you think you're gonna want to take over? And she's like, yeah, like without a shadow of doubt. She's like, yes. And so that's why I don't really have an end goal, because even if I personally stop, it's gonna carry on through either my daughter,
Right.
and even if it's not my daughter, say they want to take a completely different route later on in life, totally cool, it's cool. Somebody I know is going to want to. And if I can empower that one person, then it continues to carry on. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why I don't really see an end goal per se.
Right. Well, that's actually a really cool way to see it, because like you know, you hear all these people, they have family businesses and it gets passed down from generation to generation. I've never, you know, thought about somebody doing that with YouTube. Like, it's, you build this big brand and then you pass it down to either, you know, family member or somebody else to run it. And it's interesting.
Yeah. And so that's my perspective. And then, like he said, we have so many goals to where it reminds me of kind of like a pyramid, but it's more like an umbrella, like a covering, where like VB's at the top. and I'm not saying me, I'm saying VB as the brand at the top, and then just all these things are little like tree, not an umbrella. Sorry.
An oak tree.
Just smack him.
An
Good thing you ain't
oak
got on
tree.
haptics, man.
Sorry, I was thinking of an umbrella. I don't know why I was thinking of, I think I was just thinking of covering. But no, a tree, an oak tree. I want to get my next tattoo is going to be an oak tree. But an oak tree, because I am an oak tree. And there's going to be all these branches that start sprouting from my oak tree as the brand. And so I am an oak tree.
Yeah, I
I'm
like
here
that.
First.
I've
Yeah,
currently
but we
only
have
got.
a lot of.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just say we have a lot of ideas and a lot of goals. He recently fell in love with Teslas, so that's a goal.
That's a good one. I like that. I like that a lot. Let me put that on my list real quick.
Yeah, but yeah, oak tree and then branches that are gonna come out of it.
Yeah. I currently have 2 goals, and not that numbers are always important, but like one I do want to achieve because it's just I feel like it is a big milestone. I'm like 4,000 away from 50,000, and to me that's like I'm excited. I have no idea what I'm going to do for it, but I'm excited. And then my other goal, which I got to talk to y'all about, after this too. But there's a tournament coming up, and as always, whenever it comes to VR tournaments, Alex VR is going to be a part of it again, my rival. So my next goal is to take him down again if we're going against each other.
Oh,
but
yes.
if they somehow put us on the same team, everybody else is done. They done. But they won't do it. Every single tournament they put us against each other. I don't know why. So me and him have a rivalry. So like
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's probably why they probably know the rivalry's going in. So
they did it. They did it. They're the one that caused this. Like me and him, we love each other. Like the funniest thing is like
No, Alex is amazing.
he pops up in your chat. He popped up the other night whenever I stopped by. And
Did he? Because you said Alex VR, and I was looking throughout because I saw you say it, and I was looking, and I did not see him, and I'm like, did I say something that sparked Alex's memory, or was he actually here?
no, he was.
And I was
He
looking
popped
at
up.
it. I'm so sorry. I was looking for you, yo. Like I literally grabbed my mouse and I was scrolling, looking.
It was so funny. He popped. I think I said something like, I think I was just saying hello to everybody, and so hey VB. And quite literally, like a couple seconds later, Alex pops in chat and it says #SoulFox is too good at games. And he does that in every stream I go to. Doesn't matter where it is. That's the exact same. He's been doing it for like a month now. Anywhere I go, #SoulFox is too good at games. And I'm like, Alex.
Oh my gosh. I mean, is he wrong though? No.
Daft. No, but like, I don't. I'm looking forward to this. So like, it either be, a goal of me and him going against each other again. I gotta see if I can take him down, or a goal that me and him get paired up together and we take on this tournament, which I'm excited about either way. But
that's hilarious.
That's
amazing.
Oh
yeah.
man, that's all the questions. That was a lot. There was a lot of questions. So
yeah.
VBunny, thank you. Hambone, thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, if y'all want to
Thank
check out their
you.
channel, I'm going to leave a link, all that in the description. There'll also be something on the screen telling you more about them. Y'all make sure to check them out. They are lovely, lovely people. And make sure to subscribe. But until next time, y'all take care, and thank y'all for watching.
Bye.
Thank you, SoulFox. Bye.
Right on, guys. Thank y'all.